Hello, this is Bobby Pompey, Independent Living Skills Specialist here at the Lighthouse, and now we're going to work on spreading techniques. So just an overview of my setup and my workflow, and starting with things that I have not dealt with on my left or in front of me, and moving finished things to my right. So for now, right in front of me, I have a cutting board with a bagel on it and a spreader, so a plastic spreader. I'm using the black side of this cutting board to add a little contrast. This is the whole wheat bagel. The contrast would be sharper if it were a bagel made out of white bread. But contrast is contrast. You can pick whatever side is better suited for you. I have my cream cheese to my left. After I do the bagel, I'm gonna move on to spreading on a wrap. So I have that in front of me because that would be my next step. And the things I will be putting on that wrap are mustard and mayonnaise. Again, working my way as to what I'm gonna need when. And then when everything is all done, both the finished bagel and the finished wrap will go on this plate to my right. So let's get started. So I'm gonna pick up my spreader. And when you are spreading on something, you wanna think, am I going to be holding this item while I spread it? Will it fit in my hand? I have really long fingers, so this bagel fits in my hand, and I'm gonna approach it from that way. But if it didn't, I may wanna lay it on a cutting board. It is possible to maybe hold up your cutting board as you're doing it, and holding the bagel down with your fingertips, with the edges of it, but if you need a different angle, but don't wanna lift it up, all of that is possible. Figuring out what's comfortable for you before you get started is the key takeaway in everything that I just said. So also realizing with bagels, something important is you're not spreading from edge to edge because there's a hole in the middle. So you may want to place your fingers there as a reminder. So what I'll do as I work my way around, I'll keep that's my thumb and my index finger, or any combination of fingers. So now I've moved my index finger and my middle finger in to hold my place and have my spreader as a place to go to and a tactile marking to know when I hit my finger, stop spreading, because then I'll be spreading things into the middle. Approaching it in a systematic way. So I'm gonna start at the top, I'm gonna work it like it's a clock. So I'm gonna start at the top, completely away from me, that would be 12 o'clock, and go clockwise. So all the way around, moving clockwise or also to the right until I get back. And you can keep the bagel stationary as you do this. You can I'm turning my wrist as I do it to make it a little easier, but whatever works, but just keeping track of where you started. So for me, because my index fingers are sticking up through the middle, I'm keeping track of where I started because my index finger is my starting point. So I'm gonna put this back down, grab my cream cheese, that's at the left of my tray. Put my spreader down, keeping my spreader in the same place when I'm not using it, which is at the top of the cutting board for me. This is a pop top, pushing it upward and off. Because this is still in use, it goes to my left side. You'll notice that when I'm completely done with something, I'll move it all the way to my right, but I'm still using it, so my lid will go there so I know where it is when I'm finished. And for cream cheese, because it can be a little firm, I'd recommend kind of almost stabbing at it to get it a little softer and more workable before you go in scooping it up, because that'll make it spread easier. And noticing the weight of your spreader before you put it in. So I just scraped everything off. So noticing the weight of it before, using it like a kitchen cane is what I like to call it, to find the cream cheese on the inside, kind of digging under like a spoon to get something on there, and then noticing the weight when you lift it up and seeing, okay, I know what that feels like, and see how far that gets you around your bagel. And then if you need to go in for more, you'll be able to gauge, do I need less or more than when I got out the first time? So I'm popping my bagel back in my hand, index fingers at my 12 o'clock inside of the opening of the bagel. And I'm gonna move my hands together, and I like to find the bagel and where I'm starting, get the shape from it with the edge of my spreader that does not have anything on it. And then I like to flip it over so I don't end up spreading cream cheese all over the edge of my bagel. And when I am applying cream cheese, there's a smoothness as it goes across. But now that I'm in the 4, 5 o'clock range, there's some dryness. It's a bit of a drag. It doesn't just glide like it did before. So that lets me know there's not as much cream cheese in this region as there is in the beginning, and I need to scoop up more. So I'm gonna reach back in, scoop up about the same amount. I don't wanna get too much. That could be a good time to get more because it didn't get me all the way around. I'm starting to angle my bagel so I can get this half that's from 6 o'clock to 12 o'clock. And then turning it back how it was oriented before. And so now I just want to run it smoothly around each side. So I'm going on each side individually, so from 12 down to 6 counterclockwise, and then doing it clockwise so I know that it's nice and smooth all over. And that's my bagel.